In another video, I talked about some of the toxic consequences and symptoms that your body could be going through if you have had fluoride exposure and you've got some fluoride toxicity. In this video, I'm going to share my 9 tips how to detox that fluoride out of your system. Okay, tip number 1 is to eat a healthy diet. So you want to limit foods that tend to be higher in fluoride. One of those things is, when it's non-organic, grapes and raisins. And unfortunately, even wine can be high in that fluoride. Teas as well can also contain a lot of fluoride if they're non-herbal. So a black or green tea typically can be high in that fluoride, something to consider avoiding if you know that you've got a lot of those symptoms that I talked about of fluoride toxicity. Okay, tip number 2, how to detox that fluoride, is to consider taking a turmeric, but a high concentration of curcumin in that supplement to help to quench out and chelate that fluoride. Now, according to this research, supplementation with curcumin significantly reduced the toxic effect of fluoride, and that became really important for helping to scavenge free radicals and for that therapeutic effect against that oxidative stress, and especially affecting neurodegeneration. So making sure that we're keeping our brain and nervous system healthy, very, very important, and we've got to consider that fluoride toxicity. Okay, tip number 3 to detox that fluoride is to stop your exposure in general. So this is often the case that our dental products that we're using, so it could be the toothpaste, it could be the dental fluoride treatments, it could also be even just your dental floss can potentially contain fluoride. So you want to decrease your exposure wherever you can when you know that this is going to be something that has a negative impact on your health. Okay, tip number 4 is to make sure you're getting enough iodine in your diet. We know that fluoride, because it's a halogen, is going to displace iodine, and it's more tightly bound than what iodine is to our cells. And this becomes really important when we're not getting enough iodine in our body, because we need iodine, of course, for the proper functioning of our thyroid gland. So both an under but also an overactive thyroid can be related to fluoride toxicity, and getting enough iodine from things like seaweed and seafood is a fantastic natural whole food source way to get more iodine. Okay, tip number 5 is to make sure you're optimizing your other minerals. So things like calcium and magnesium become displaced by that fluoride toxicity as well. Getting enough vitamin D3, what's the best way to get it? Of course, is from natural sunlight exposure on our skin from that UV light, which in hopefully some season in which you live in, you can get some of that strong UV powered light to make your own vitamin D. Some people do need to supplement, however, and that is very individual. Tip number 6 is, if you are a coffee or tea drinker, is to go for organic. So organic coffee and organic teas, but preferably a herbal tea, because we know that both organic and non-organic black and green teas tend to be high in fluoride, which goes along with tip number 7 is to always use filtered water. So reverse osmosis water will remove that fluoride in that processing. Really important that you're not ingesting more fluoride. Even in a lot of naturally occurring spring water, there is fluoride in there. So you've got to read, if you are buying bottled water, make sure that it's very low in that, or it doesn't have fluoride. Okay, tip number 8 is to do a full body detox. And one of the things that I love is Chlorella, which has been known to actually chelate or trap that fluoride, which is so important, along with other minerals, of course, like the iodine, like we talked about, and supporting those organ systems in terms of that full body detox, supporting your liver health, your kidneys, your lymphatics, your blood, your skin, and really having a good full body detox 3 to 4 times a year is something that I do recommend. And I always like to do it with a special blend of herbal medicines that does contain the Chlorella in there as well. Super powerful to deal with that toxic load and doing that full body detox. And tip number 9, how to detox that fluoride, is to think about your third eye. Now this is interesting, a correlation between fluoride toxicity and what happens in the pineal gland. And that pineal gland, which is the seat of our intuition, our third eye, is something that can be sort of shut down the more fluoride toxicity we have in our system. And we will definitely want to open up our third eye. This is the seat to our intuition and being able to perceive things beyond just the physical, what we can see and taste and feel in our environment. So opening up that third eye by doing some third eye meditation can be very powerful to help to detox some of that fluoride out of your system as well. Now, at the top of the video, I mentioned that there could be a lot of symptoms that you're going through that could be related to that fluoride toxicity. I want you to learn what those symptoms just may be, and they could be correlated to what's happening with you and fluoride. Okay, so check out this video, 10 fluoride toxicity symptoms. I'm going to see you there.